Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Jazakallah khairan, everyone, for coming into another session of VOTP. Today we have a very, very interesting topic: sleep and health. And I myself, enjoyed and was amazed at Allah's creation when I was researching this topic to present. So hope you will find this topic very, very helpful, very awe-inspiring, as well as beneficial, inshallah. So let's go ahead and get started. My screen is visible. Everyone is able to see the screen.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, so what are our objectives today? So we want to understand what is sleep. Mainly from the scientific perspective. Secondly, its importance. With the good health. And then we will discuss the few common problems related to sleep and what we can do to get rid of them. And finally, the relationship between sleep and memory, which is that there's a strong bond between the two. So we're going to take a look at that as well, inshallah. So, subhanallah, so, sleep, every one of us, knows about sleep, from, whether it's a little baby and, we see the baby sleeping peacefully and restfully. We ourselves are very, very familiar with sleep. It's an integral part of our life. And the scientific in the scientific field, this research has.
Sister Farhana, we lost your voice and your video.
Okay, let me go ahead and. Okay, are you able to hear me? You able to hear me?
Hear you. We've lost your screen and we can't see you.
The video is automatically going off. I don't know why. Let me connect to the Wi-Fi here. So maybe that'll. So we will. Okay. So Wi-Fi is also connected. Sure, I should not have any issues. Okay, get the slides on. Okay. Okay. You're able to see the screen as well now?
Yeah. Yep. Thank you.
It's okay. Okay. All right. So yeah, so we were getting started with, so so in the scientific world, a lot of research has been done, with respect to what happens in the brain, in the past 30 years. So we have learned much more about sleep and, what happens within the body and the brain in the past 30 years. So inshallah, we will, learn a little bit more about it. And then subhanallah, you will see the immense connection of the Islamic, the practices, the Sunnah, the recommendations in Islam, all blend in so well and, and really enhance the sleep and optimize sleep for our health and betterment. So that is the most, awe-inspiring thing when I did this study. So this,
excuse me, could we have your video on? Is it possible?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know why it is just, without my closing, it is just stopping off in between. It's bizarre. It's just automatically, I think after a minute or so, the video is just dropping off.
Right.
SubhanAllah, Zoom is giving a lot of issues today. Okay. And so let me see. Yeah, it is, but yeah, every minute or two, it is just closing off by itself. The video. I'm putting it in.
Okay, let's continue.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, if it stops,
we'll just keep going, even if it stops. We'll keep going.
Okay, TK, because this other
you'll share your screen now? Yeah.
Yeah, I will share my screen and a lot of technical glitches today. Okay, bismillah, no worries. So yeah.
No, we stayed. Yeah, we are good now.
We are good.
You've gone now. You've disappeared because you take away that screen.
Yeah.
Don't take away the screen, sister.
Okay.
Don't take it away.
Okay. Okay. That
Just
is what.
put yourself right now. Put
Yeah.
your shape so you're facing us. You're at an angle.
Okay. In that case, I think.
Yeah,
Since.
you're right now. You're okay. Good.
Yeah. Okay. 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 This I will increase the screen. Is this good enough? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So okay. So we're
Can you
discussing about.
make it bigger, Sister Farhana? Can you make
If
it bigger?
I make it bigger, then I go the other way. You know.
Try. Can you
Yeah.
try?
Yeah. If I make it bigger, then I think my camera goes off the other side, right?
No, it's fine. Let's
Good.
go. Hmm.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
perfect. Good. So yeah, so we're going to discuss the stages of sleep. Okay. So
Mhm.
most of you might have heard there are two, types of sleep, and one is called the non REM. REM stands for rapid eye movement. It just means that the eyeball is moving. If you would have seen any little kid or anyone asleep, sometimes you might notice that their eyeballs are just the eyelids are closed, but the eyeball is kind of moving, right? So that is the rapid eye movement. Okay, and the short form for that is REM. And the other type of sleep is called the non-rapid eye movement, which means that the eyeballs are not going to and fro. Okay, that's all it means. Nothing big. So those are the two types of sleep which happen in the nighttime. And these two also, they happen in kind of cycles. What it means is that you have a lot of sessions of sleep, if you want to call it, in the night. You have multiple sessions of sleep, and in each session of sleep you have a part of it which is the not rapid eye movement, and a part of the sleep where your eyeball is moving fast. Okay, so that's how the sleep is kind of divided during the nighttime. And the non rapid eye movement or the type of sleep in which there is no movement of the eyeball, that is divided into four types. Okay, there's this early phase where you just go and lie down, right? And that is very, very early. You can very easily be woken up. That's the stage one. Then that goes into a little bit more deeper sleep where if that person is in that phase, you have to wake him up a little bit more with more pressure. You have to make louder, or you have to shake him to wake. And then there's this stage 3, and stage 3 where you're in so much of a deep sleep there. Even if you're literally calling, or even if shaking, they are kind of not waking up immediately. There's so much in a deep sleep. Okay, so all these all these types of these different types are there within that sleep where there's no movement of the eye. And then we have the second type, which I mentioned, which is the movement of the eye, and that is most of the time when you're dreaming as well. So dreams happen during the where this eyeball movement. A lot of the memory is getting stored in the brain. The brain is processing what happened during the day, putting it in the places where it needs to be stored. All that is also happening during the REM, the REM phase, and also during the stage 2 of the non-rapid eye movement. There's also memories getting stored there. So memory gets stored in both the types. So that's kind of all what you want to remember. So so what happens is during once you fall asleep, initially if you notice anyone falling asleep, their eyeballs will not be moving for around 1 hour or so. They will just from the light sleep where they can very easily walk, they'll go into a deeper sleep, and then after maybe an hour or 1.5 hours, then they will go into the small period where their eyeballs will move. That will be one session of sleep. And then then after that, again, they'll come back into this phase where the movement is not there for the eyeball. And then again, they'll have a period when there's a lot of movement of the eyeball. And then this period of sleep where the movement of eyeball or REM sleep, it goes on increases as the night progresses. Okay. So that is kind of what you see. The yellow color in this picture is nothing but the period of sleep where your eyeball is moving, and that is the REM sleep. So you see as the night progresses, as you go to the right side of the screen, you see that durations go on increasing, and the dreams also happen in this time. Memories are getting consolidated, is stored in the brain. So a lot of good things are happening during this time. And during this time of the rapid eye movement sleep, your muscles are all kind of limp, in the sense, don't have muscle tone at that time, your reflexes, your body is completely relaxed, your reflexes are not there, right? So that's kind of it's completely a relaxation for the body as well during the sleep. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, if you have any questions, please, note it down, and inshallah, in the end, we will go ahead and discuss it a little more. So, yeah, next, let's go and see what are the mechanisms how the sleep is regulated. So the one mechanism is called the homeostatic sleep mechanism. Okay. And the second one is the circadian rhythm. So there are two ways in which our body and the brain they regulate the sleep. So subhanallah, we are here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us, sent our ruh within this, within this machine, if you want to call it that way, called body. And, this, we need to have, a lot of rest to grow, to kind of process what has happened during the daytime. So all of that. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, designed this, thing called, sleep. And sleep is also the time when, as per Islamic, the ruh kind of leaves the body, and then we come back when we wake up, right, into the body. So that's our Islamic perspective. And really, a lot of research has not been done in those aspects, of course, because they don't even believe in the spiritual nature of human beings. But there is this big area where I think a lot of research can be done by Muslims to find out more. But nevertheless, so the body, the brain, they need to kind of, they need to know when we need to sleep, when we need to do work, when you should take rest. And for all of that, they have to have certain signals, from the outside world. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, here you're seeing an integration between the rest of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the body and the brain. And there's the signals are coming from the rest of the creation, including especially the sunlight. And these messages are coming, the brain and the body, take note of these messages, and then they, make certain changes in your body so that you will work certain part of the day, and then you will rest certain part of the day. So very, very integrated. So just if you want to understand one main key concept here is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has integrated the entire, the world outside us to the body within us. Okay. So I think with this backdrop, I think we'll understand the two, the mechanisms. So first, let me talk about the homeostatic sleep drive. The homeostatic sleep drive is basically it's the part of the body's system whereby body wants to let us know that it is time for taking rest. Okay, so as the more time you're awake, there's a chemical which is called adenosine gets accumulating and accumulating and accumulating, and as it accumulates more and more, then the pressure kind of builds up in the sense that the body is going to give a signal that you need to sleep, you need to take rest, you need to take rest. So if you keep working for the entire day, you notice that you're getting tired, and you're getting the signal that it's time to take rest. So that is the body's own mechanism to give you signal that you're worked a lot, now you kind of need to take rest. So that is one way. And and the second way how the body is getting the signal when to sleep is through this very close integration with the outside world. And here comes the role of the sun called the circadian rhythm. And both of these mechanisms, they work together in helping us, get a very restful sleep and get the body repaired, and the memory and all of that gets done. So we'll go a little bit more detail into the, the circadian rhythm, because that is where we have a lot of tools to make our sleep the optimal sleep, and and so that our body functions the most best way, so we can do what we are meant to do on this earth. So if you just kind of take a look at this graph, it's the sleep pressure. That's the body saying, you've been awake for a long time. The adenosine chemical is going up. It's time to fall asleep. So you see that sleep, that blue line called the sleep pressure, and this is the homeostatic mechanism. And but so if you don't take rest, then what happens is that the pressure keeps on going up and up and up, and you develop a sleep debt. So that's why you might have noticed that one day if you don't sleep well, then the next night, you will have to catch up, or the next day you will feel more sleepy, right? So you will have to catch up on that. And if you don't sleep for many nights together, then you really find that your functioning is totally gone. Your memory gets very low. Your focus gets very, very low. So so very, very important. So sleep is a very, very important part of our life. Now let's come to this interesting thing about this. How does the sun and this light affect our sleep? So so in this picture below, you have the sun and the bright light of the sun, which is which is the intensity is very high, that passes through our eyes. Even if the eyelids are closed, there's still some amount of it is going to pass through the eyes, and it's going to fall on the retina, which is nothing but like the screen at the end of the eye, at the end of the eyeball. From there, it goes through certain nerves to a particular part in the brain called suprachiasmatic nucleus, SCN, if you want to know the name. But don't worry about the terminology here. It just goes to one part of the brain, and this part of the brain is then going to cause send information to the rest of the brain, as well as releases a hormone called cortisol. In the morning hours. Typically, this is expected to happen in the morning hours. And with that is going to keep your body in the wakeful state. It's going to increase the temperature of your body by a few degrees. And that is now giving the signal to your body that it's time to be awake and time to do things in the world. So this is a very, very important step. And the other thing it also does is it stops the production of a hormone called melatonin. I'm sure melatonin, every one of you knows that. So melatonin will cause you to feel sleepy, right? So when light comes into this area of the brain, from here the message goes to that gland which is producing the melatonin that don't produce it right now. Hold off. So it holds off that sleepy hormone, if you want to call it, right? So it keeps you awake. And also this light, this part of the brain, this nucleus in the brain, it gives a signal that to that sleepy hormone that don't come out now, come out after 16 hours. That means in the morning, if you see the sun, the brain, the body, the gland which produces that melatonin has got a signal that's time for you to come out later in the day, around later in the evening, around 10 p.m. So at 10 p.m., you come, and that time you sleep. So this is a beautiful coordination from the external light of the sun through your eye to the brain, and the brain giving the signals to the different parts, to be awake during the daytime, and then setting a timer that, okay, you're going to go sleep in the 16 hours after this morning sun exposure. So this is the circadian timing system. And the reason why I'm spending time is this is where we can use this. We can use this exposure to the light to set our sleep cycles right, and get rid of all these problems which we are having during the nighttime. Yeah. All right. Next, how much of sleep is kind of needed? Studies are saying like 7 to 9 hours of sleep is what is needed for adults, for older adults. Teenagers and children, they need much, much, much more hours of sleep. So you will see that infants, when they're born, they're going to be sleeping for most of the day, maybe awake for 4 or 5 hours, right, within the first month or so, and then gradually it becomes a little lesser. Then they take afternoon naps as well, and the same thing you will notice with teenagers as well. They will sleep more. And again, this is very beneficial for the brain development. A lot of processes are going on within the brain. The neurons are getting formed, and the body, so that it can focus on the brain, it wants to kind of shut down the rest of your body functions. And so it uses this time of sleep. So remember that teenagers as well as infants and little kids, they're going to sleep a lot, and that's very, very good. And a lot of good things are happening in their brain, especially. So nothing wrong there. But adults, is 7 to 9 hours, and most through the even through the as we grow old, we might find that they're sleeping more, but the quality of sleep and the real hours which even elderly people are getting is almost 7 to 9. So that is kind of a little bit of the duration of sleep. Okay. So yeah, a little bit graph on, there are certain changes as we, grow, elderly. What happens is that they're not sleeping deeper enough, so, you just, that's kind of the graph showing that by not much of relevant here. Okay. And what else happens is, with age, the time where they're really solidly sleeping, that goes down. So they're awake for more part of the night. And also, with any discomfort for the body, whether it's arthritis pains or whether they have to go up to the bathroom more frequently, all of that is going to really, cut down their solid sleep hours. And they tend to sleep a little bit earlier in the day, and they tend to rise earlier in the night again. And subhanallah, and this I think is from Islamic perspective, this change automatically happens as you age, and I think it's very, very beautiful, because I think as we age and our understanding of the world increases and connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala becomes stronger, I think we really crave for that morning time connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during the tahajjud time. So it happens. This is again how the body does, and it's already integrated. So though I mean, the non-Muslim, they may not think it is a good thing, but for us, we kind of value this process which happens normally as we age. But there's less of the eye movement sleep in elderly. There's a less of deep sleep. The sleep can be more easily arousable. So there's some changes which happens with age. Yeah. Now, I did mention that sleep is very related with memory, and again, just a brief, stage 2 sleep, that's when, the things, what has happened during the daytime, all that is kind of sorted. It is kind of, stored, so that happens in stage 2. And then also it happens in the deep sleep time. And then it also happens in the rapid eye movement as well. So lot of relationship with memory. So people in whom the sleep is very much affected, they might find that they're forgetting things, they have not stored things very well. So memory issues can be seen in people who struggle with a good night's rest. And so the rapid eye movement sleep again is very important for emotional memories as well, and also for procedural memories, and even the problem is, and also for creative problem solving. So if you are not not have a good sleep, then these are going to get affected. And basically during sleep time, it's kind of like analogy can be like a mom doing her kitchen, keeping her kitchen in making kitchen in putting it all right when the kids sleep, right? That's kind of what exactly the brain is doing. The rest of the body is calm. It's not bothering it. So now the brain kind of, reorganizes the connections, cleans up, decides what memories need to be stored. And, it's, flushing out all the wastes, and including this particular chemical called beta amyloid, which is a toxin, which excesses of which is found in Alzheimer's. So good sleep, helps the brain flush out this toxin as well. And hence, people with good sleep have a lesser incidence of the Alzheimer's dementia. So again, just the importance of sleep, and so very important for memory, focus, problem solving, critical problem solving, all of that. And how does sleep affect energy and memory? Memory we kind of already discussed. Sleep. If you don't sleep well, then as I mentioned earlier, the sleep pressure is increasing. The body is going to be telling that you're not slept enough, the adenosine chemical is going to keep on, keeps on accumulating, and then you feel, low energy, you're drained, you're, confused, memory is not very sharp, can't focus, really not able to think out deep problems or problem solving. So, all that happens when you are not able to get a good night's rest. Yeah. So let's kind of come on to some common sleep issues now, and then we'll go on to what we can do. And let's see how we can, use the circadian rhythm or the light or the sun and the alternation of the day and the light to help us with these, with solving some sleep issues. So, subhanAllah, they're so simple things which we can do to fix our sleep. The inability or the difficulty in falling asleep or staying asleep during the night, along with waking up the next day, not tired, not able to focus, confused, memory issues, that is together called insomnia. So if some person is sleeping just maybe 4 hours a night and he's getting up the next day and he's totally fine, then that is not an issue at all. And that does not come under the category of insomnia. Then there can be, so other problems, which other bodily problems, which can cause insomnia. One of them is, sleep apnea. Again, it's a term which is very commonly, and very, many people I think are getting aware of obstructive sleep apnea. So what happens in this is that it's basically an issue with the lungs, not exactly with the lungs, but the breathing system. What happens is that in people who have a lot amount of soft tissue in the neck, people who suffer from obesity, the flabby tissue in the neck will kind of fall on the windpipe. And as a result of that, there's not much air going into the lungs. So the oxygen to the body is less, and the carbon dioxide, which needs to come out from the lungs, is also accumulating. And because of that, their sleep is, broken, because when the carbon dioxide, which is supposed to normally come out when you breathe out, that is also not happening. They're neither breathing in nor breathing out. They have, people with obstructive sleep apnea, they have small periods where they kind of not breathing. There's small periods again, and so when carbon dioxide accumulates, which is a toxin, then the body, it will stimulate them to wake up, and they will wake up with a startle and take a deep breath, to kind of get their body going on again. And that waking up is going to fracture or fragment their sleep, and they don't get a good night's rest at all. So that is one reason, which is very common. So if you think you have that, go check it out. They have a simple machine they put on their nose and face, which will help them sleep better. So that's one thing. There are some people, especially I think elderly people, can have this condition called restless leg syndrome, where they kind of keep moving their legs. They feel very, very restless in the legs. They have to move it to feel comfortable, and that again can keep them awake at night. Again, they don't get good sleep. As I mentioned earlier, people who are taking medicines which make them urinate more, or prostate issues, all that make you wake up to go to the bathroom in the nighttime. That is again going to break your sleep. And then anxiety, especially with women, we kind of tend to worry more and think about it, overthink, just keep playing the tape recorder again and again and again in the mind when you just go to sleep. That can keep you awake at night, again affecting your sleep. So these are some of the common, the most common issues which can, cause sleep issues. Any new medication, if you started and after that you notice that suddenly you're not able to sleep, make sure, there could be a relationship with that new medicine and sleep. So check that out. So if you find you sleep very well and now you start taking some medicine, now you're not sleeping at all. If you notice a very strong correlation, talk to your doctor about that. Okay. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then again, pain issues, any arthritis, any pain anywhere, definitely your sleep is going to be, off. Mental issues, depression, anxiety we talked about, grief, loneliness can all cause, sleep problems. Then certain lifestyle issues as well. I mean, this is a big one, especially in our current lifestyle with using our, phones and this light. This is also going to be is one of the common, is a new cause of sleep problems. Irregular sleep schedule, people who have night shift, day shift, changing, that it can cause, sleep problems. Caffeine. So the caffeine, it actually is, will prevent you from, falling asleep. Technically how it works is basically, as I said, the more you're awake, the body keeps on producing this chemical called adenosine, and that is a signal to the body that come on, take rest and go to sleep. But what the coffee does is it kind of, counteracts or takes the, adenosine away. And so your body's not getting the signal. So you can work for long hours with the coffee, but it's not going to help you, rest. So that's how the coffee can keep you awake at night. And but in any case, if once you don't get enough sleep, then this is going to a sleep debt, and it will catch up on you gradually. So too much caffeine, especially after 3 p.m., 4 p.m. in the evening, is going to not let you fall asleep. And then lack of daylight exposure, in the daytime. We'll discuss that in how to make a good, regimen for us so that we sleep. So if you're not exposed to enough light during the daytime, keeping with dark curtains, staying inside in the dark area, not going out in the sun in the morning time, all of that is going to also cause you to be sleepy during the daytime, and then you excessive sleep daytime, and then nighttime. The melatonin the signal is not there for the nighttime sleep, so it just basically messes up your sleep cycle. So lack of exercise, these are also other things. And then so and here I want to mention about I put the screens. Okay. So yeah, so here I want to mention about the screens. So as I mentioned earlier, when the sunlight falls on the eye, sunlight or any bright light, right? Sunlight or bright light falls on the eye, it goes to the back of the eye. There are the cells which then pass that information or the signals to the nucleus or the SC and nucleus in the brain, and that then tells the gland which is producing the melatonin or the sleepy hormone not to produce it, right? So that's the same thing happens. So when you see the screen in the nighttime, what happens is that again, you get a signal to your brain not to produce a sleepy hormone, so you're not going to fall asleep. And the strange thing is, even a small amount of light on your phone, even if you put it in the night mode, even that is enough to stop that production of sleepy hormone. And if you don't have enough of sleepy hormone at night, you're going to wake up. So exposing you to screens at the night time, 2 hours, from before you're falling asleep, is going to mess up your sleep cycle. So this is a very, very, very big one, which I want you to know and make sure we're not doing that. If you want to go and have sleep cycle. Okay. Okay. All right. So now let's see what can I do about it, right? So yeah, I mean, I think first thing we have to agree is how important it is. I mean, if you really don't know the value of sleep and what it is doing to your well-being during the daytime, you're feeling good, feeling fresh, feeling energetic, good memory, good focus, good immunity, all of that. If you understand the value of sleep, then I think you can come to this next step of what can I do to optimize my sleep. So before that, you might want to before you kind of start correcting, you may want to see which are the areas which you're making mistakes. So you can kind of make a diary just to kind of know your pattern. What time do you go to sleep? How many hours you sleep? How many times do you wake up during nighttime? Again, are you taking any medications which are affecting your sleep? And how you feel during the daytime? What are your daytime symptoms? So if you're having daytime symptoms, then it becomes all the more important to understand that there are simple tools, very, very simple tools, which we can do to change this. It's not medication. It's not any hard things, very, very simple things which you can do to make yourself energetic and get rid of that daytime symptoms. So you could do this, a week or so, or even, just to kind of get to know yourself and what you have been doing so far, right? So and as I said, now the simple tips. So simple tips for a better sleep and to fix the issues of waking up, waking up at night time for sleep. So one of the most important thing, again, subhanallah, is spending some time in the morning, in outside. That is the simple tip which I was telling about. So at whatever time you wake up, even in the initially, even if you're feeling groggy, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and go outside. It's now standing at the window and looking outside is not as effective, in the studies. Driving in your car, looking out to the windshield, it's something if you can't do anything, but ideally the best thing is to go outside in the sun. And that is, as the sun is rising, right? Like, 30, 40 minutes after you wake up, you can after Fajr Salah, subhanallah, I think is the best time for us to go out in the sun. And how much time should you be there in the sun? What is happening is, as what I explained, right? The bright, high intensity sunlight is actually going to go through your eye to the brain and all of that. All of what I explained, that picture, that's what is happening. So how much of time, if it's a very, very bright, non-cloudy day, 5 minutes would be good enough. If you go and stand, don't have to stare at the sun directly, but you just have to, look in the direction of the sun. Early morning sun may be, easy on your eyes. You can just maybe have glances of the sun. That's good too. Don't use sunglasses. And so this will get your, the circadian rhythm, setting everything what you need to do in the brain. If it is cloudy, maybe 10 minutes, if it's a very, very dense cloudy, and like very thick clouds has been raining for a week or so, in that case, you can maybe 20 minutes or so, you try to get out in the sun. So that is the most important thing. What all of this does is this actually causes the light to go into the eyes, to the brain, to that nucleus, SC and nucleus, and from there all the signals go in, signal to cause you to sleep in the evenings after 16 hours, the signal to release a hormone called cortisol, which is a stress hormone, but in the morning time when it is released, it also has a lot of benefits as well. So cortisol is not a purely evil hormone. This at the right time when it's released, which is the morning time, it's released. It's very, very, very extremely good for the body. It makes you more focused. All the metabolism of the body goes in the right way. Your immunity is better. So all of that, is regulated all just by going and standing outside and getting that exposure of light in the morning, right? And then you can also, you can drink coffee in the morning. Have one 2 hours after you wake up. That'll again keep you very awake and focused. So that will increase your productivity during the daytime. And exercise also. So during the same time, early morning exercises, for 20, 30 minutes is also going to increase your body temperature, make you awake. Your body and the brain knows that this is the time for me to do work, and you'll be very, very productive during the daytime. So those are some morning routines which you could do. Then, in the nighttime, you want to kind of go ahead and sleep at the same time daily. Routines, once in a while here and there you had some function or something, that's a different thing, but you want to go to bed and wake up at the same time daily. If anyone is having anxiety or a lot of ruminating thoughts or overthinking, when you just kind of go to try to sleep, then you can subhanallah, for us, do the Isha Salah, do the dhikr, and then leave everything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's our prayer, right, to help us calm down. So you do that with the intention of calming down. Reading helps to kind of relax as well, or anything which can calm you down during the nighttime will also help. we also have some, yes, then the bedroom setup. There are, so you can train your brain to fall asleep by linking, making an association that bedroom is only for sleep, or your bed is only for sleep. So, so for that, what you have to do is you do not use bed to, do other things like sitting and reading, doing your work on the laptop there. No, you limit on the bed only to, for sleeping, right? So that the brain knows if we go there, automatically it's a signal to the, to the brain that, it's time to sleep and time to slowly shut down. Cool temperature helps with sleep. So if you, lower the temperature, keep it a little AC, a little bit on the cooler side, that's going to help. Again, as I said about darkness, right? You do not want to expose yourself to bright tube lights or the screens, the iPads, any of those during that time. Because if you do that, then automatically the light goes to the eye, to the SCN nucleus, to the gland producing the sleepy hormone. Says, no, it's don't get the sleepy hormone and you're going to wake up. So be very, very particular, especially between 8 p.m. to the 4 a.m. in the morning. Do not keep your phones or anything around you. Again, no. Even if you want to wake up to go to the bathroom in the nighttime, you don't want to open your main lights, the bright lights or the tube lights or anything like that. You rather want to have lighting, bed lamps, and which are placed at a very low level, like in the plugins at the lower level, so that the light doesn't really go into the the back of the eye where those cells are. So lighting, even if you're ending up going to the bathroom multiple times, do not open your main lights. Just rather have small bedding, lamp lighting or anything on the floor area, so you're just able to make sure you don't trip against something. No TV, no watching TV again. TV is again a very source of bright light. So that is the thing. And then also having clocks right in front of your eyes when you wake up, it's not a good idea, especially people who tend to wake up, oh, I woke up, this is the time, I just slept for 5 hours, again this is the time, that distress which you have when you are not able to fall asleep is not good. So don't keep clocks just facing to you when you wake up. Keep more on the side walls. So these are some simple tips for the bedroom setup. Yeah. Avoid caffeine. We talked about it already before, after 2 p.m. in the afternoon, because it's not going to let you fall asleep. And the heavy meals, and a lot of fluids late in the evening, again, is going to, a lot of metabolism goes on, the body temperature is on the little higher side. Again, not a good signal for your body that, you're going to, it's time to relax. The same thing, exercises again, with 2 hours before you want to sleep, you don't want to do any exercises. That again increases your body temperature, increases metabolism. Again, does not give the signal to sleep down. Cooling is kind of what is giving you the signal to sleep. So you don't want to do exercise, no too much heavy meals 2-3 hours before sleep, no caffeine after 2 p.m. We already mentioned about the screen time. Blue light affects the melatonin. We talked about how it does as well. All right, devices. Okay. Then we, in addition, if people, still having trouble with sleeping despite the simple things, we do have, apps nowadays which are kind of mainly teaching relaxation techniques, and how to relax your muscles if they're tense, if you're going through a lot of stress and anxiety. These might be some things which you can find online. You just put them in the ear. They just kind of coach you kind of meditation to relax different parts of the body and kind of go into that state where you can fall off sleep. Deep breathing exercises, as always, calming audio, water, waterfall or anything sounds like that, white noise, which will help you with relaxing and sleeping as well. Then, if you really anxious, something going on, overthinking mind, just take a journal, write down, this is thing which is bothering me. I'm going to think about it and solve this problem tomorrow. Kind of you're unloading your brain, because otherwise the brain is saying, I have to remember this because this is important, these are issues. Write them down, journal, keep it, give it to Allah subhanahu that He will take care of it, and then kind of you can relax. There are certain other, over the counters, melatonin, exactly the same thing which is produced in the brain. They have the same formulation tablets which are available. Melatonin, 3 milligram, 5 milligram. They're all over the counter. You could try some. But again, the best thing would be waking up in the morning and getting your getting the circadian rhythm triggered by the natural ways. Ashwagandha is again a herbal product. It will help you with sleeping. Certain herbal teas like chamomile, passion flower, again help in relaxing, and then some aromatics like lavender can also be used. Yeah. So when to talk to a doctor, again, if this is sleep, the simple techniques are not helping. You're not able to sleep for more than 4 weeks. You need more help. Please go ahead and feel free to get to a doctor. They will try to sort out where the problem lies and help you more. And also you need to seek help if it's one of those body issues which are causing you lack of sleep. Either it's pain issues and arthritis, too much of waking up in the bathroom because prostate issues. You have some medicines to help with that. Or if you have the sleeping, the sleep apnea, the obstructive sleep apnea, waking up at night, gasping, because of not breathing well. So then, go ahead and definitely reach a doctor. These problems can be fixed, and inshallah, the sleep will also be fixed. Okay. Yeah, a little bit, again, memory, lack of sleep is one very, very, very important, cause of memory issue. And some other additional issues causing memory problems can be stress issues. Depression is the cause for memory issues. Once your depression gets better, your memory will be back to normal. Certain medications like Benadryl, all that can also cause memory issues. We have nutritional, definitely, the brain needs to have, it's a lot of omega-3, vitamins, minerals, all of that. And inshallah, we'll have Sister Safiya mention the specific ones important for memory, but, vitamin D needs to be good, B12, omega-3, fish oil tablets, or salmon, a couple of times a week, enough of fish oil. All of that is needed for optimal, functioning of the memory as well. And then, your, all the zinc, magnesium, potassium, all the, electrolytes, also you must all get them in the nutrition. Vitamin D as well. Then the other cause of memory issues is if you're not using your brain enough, right? You don't have any purpose, you don't have anything to do, all that. Then the brain will say there's nothing for me to do, so I'm just going to relax, and the memory part also relaxes and can get worse. So lack of stimulation, you have to be doing stuff, have some purpose, some targets, some goals, and that is also very important. And then of course there are certain medical conditions as well. So yeah, okay, double slides. Okay. And there's some things which you can do to,
I think maybe we could have a second session if there's a lot to do. Is it a lot?
No, actually nothing much. No, I think just this, I think, is the last slide. I mean, puzzles, learning something's new, good sleep, exercise, all of that. And that's pretty much it. Okay. So, all right. I think that is the end of it. Any question and answers? Let's go ahead and take that. Yeah. So I'm going to put on the slide for the sun, because that is so very important. Yes. So subhanAllah, I mean, I put the ayat here. Indeed, the creation of the heavens and the earth and the alteration of the night and the day are signs for those of understanding. So subhanAllah, yeah. So with that, I conclude. Yeah, go ahead and ask me any questions, anything which we can help with, or any clarification. Yeah.
Are we saying, Sister Farhana, that the REM sleep is the best sleep? Is that what it is? Is that?
No. Yeah, no, not necessarily. See, because the both happen. I mean, it's both the non-REM sleep as well as the REM sleep happens, and they happen as a like sleep cycles, or as sessions. Like both of them happen. So both are good. Even during the non-REM sleep, the stage 2, stage 3, stage 4 are very restful sleeps. So not necessarily, no. Memory is happening during both in the REM. A lot of memory stuff is happening in the REM and in stage 2 as well. So both So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, have made both, and He gives both. I don't think there's anything one better than the other. Restful sleep, probably, having both. I think having a REM also is important. As we age, the REM will come down, and so maybe the restfulness of the sleep may be a little bit less. But I didn't find any specific. Yeah, they have not, said any one better than the other anywhere.
Right. Yeah. The apps are telling us now how much light sleep, how much REM sleep. It's telling us that, and the light sleep seems to be the most. Is that right? Or am I just getting that? I'm getting a lot of light sleep, that's for sure.
Yeah. So the light sleep is, light sleep is a lot of memory and a lot of brain repair. Everything is going to happen in the deeper ones.
Right.
Yeah, that is for sure. So REM is is close to the deeper, is a deeper sleep, REM and the stage 3, stage 4. So as we age, stage 3, the deeper sleeps are lesser, even the REM comes lesser. So the repair, so.
The stages are part of what? Is that part of light sleep, or where are the stages?
Let me show you that graph, the first. Yes. So the stages are of they are of the non-REM sleep.
Non-REM, okay.
Non-REM sleep is having 4 stages. Basically, the different types of electrical, if they connect electrodes to the brain, they can see different type of electrical activity. So the non-REM has 4 stages, and then we have the REM. So, and that's the 2 types, right? And then, as I said, we have sleep cycles. You might have 3 or 4 sleep cycles, and in each sleep cycle, there's a part of the first part is usually the non-REM, and then we have the REM, and then we have the non-REM, and then REM, and non-REM, and REM, and the REM keeps on increasing. The yellow C keeps on increasing as you sleep more.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is how. This is the entire night as you progress through the night. Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, there was a question somewhere. Yes, Sister Shazia.
Walaikum assalam.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैम.
Yes, go ahead, brother. Yes.
जी मैम, दिस इज़ अब्दुल्ला है. और मैम इन प्रेजेंटेशन तो माशाल्लाह बहुत इंफॉर्मेटिव थी, बहुत ज़्यादा जो है वो इंफॉर्मेशन मिली. लेकिन एक चीज़ मैम जो है वो मेरे लिए थोड़ी डाइजेस्ट करना मुश्किल है काफ़ी अरसे से. और वो ये है कि आई मीन जो आपने प्रेजेंटेशन में भी जिस चीज़ का जिक्र किया कि साइंस ये कहती है कि एडल्ट्स के लिए तकरीबन 7 से 8 घंटे की नींद, 7 से 9 घंटों की नींद जो है वो एक दिन में होनी चाहिए. ठीक है. तो जो जहन में एक सवाल आता है वो ये है कि आई मीन इफ़ दे आर 24 आवर्स इन अ डे, और अगर हम 8 घंटे की नींद एक दिन में ले रहे हैं तो इट मीन्स दिस इज़ 1/3 ऑफ द डे. और अगर यही पैटर्न कंटिन्यू रहे और एक शख्स को तकरीबन 60 साल की उम्र मिलती है, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि 20 ईयर्स उसने बस सोता ही रहा है, उसने कुछ भी नहीं किया. ठीक है. तो द पॉइंट इज़ के आई मीन जितने भी हम सक्सेसफुल लोग देखते हैं वो उनके बारे में जो भी हमें सुनने को मिलता है वो यही है कि जी 18 घंटे 20 घंटे काम कर रहे हैं. और अगर वो 18 घंटे काम कर रहे हैं तो इट मीन्स के बाकी ऑलमोस्ट एक दिन में तकरीबन 3 से 4 घंटे ही वो सो रहे हैं. तो वो तो सबसे ज़्यादा रैशनल भी हैं, प्रोडक्टिव भी हैं, एक्टिव भी हैं, और सक्सेसफुल भी हैं. ठीक है. तो ये बात नहीं मुझे वो आई मीन ये चीज़ थोड़ी सी ना कंफ्यूज भी करती है. तो इस बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. So, so this literature, जो ये 7 to 8 hours का ना, this is the, the English, जो भी science, the science is telling that 7 to 8 hours is kind of what, on average, is what they're saying, rather. They're not necessarily saying this is needed. And जो insomnia की definition में भी ना, what they are saying is that people who are able to function well even with 4 to 5 hours are good. So it's very much depending upon the next day की ना efficiency and the functionality. So so this is kind of an average. People will sleep around 7 to 8 hours is what they are saying. But again, this is a good question for research and digging in more. How in that 4 to 8 hours, the person who is sleeping 4 to 8, how is that जो dementia के साथ उन्होंने link बनाया है कि one who sleep 7 to 8 hours, there's lesser chance of dementia. So again, my question for them would be, how are these people who are functioning so good in 4 to 8 hours? They seem to be doing very well. I mean, we have to follow them and study in instance kya hai dementia ki, or is there something else which they are doing which is also preventing them from having dementia? But productivity is बहुत बड़ी है, as you said, absolutely. And if you take Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as an example, and his sleep, I think was probably maybe on average 4 to 5 hours, right? With waking up for tahajjud.
जी जी बिल्कुल ऐसे ही
Yeah,
हाँ
बिल्कुल, yeah.
इवन हजरत उमर के बारे में उनके बारे में भी जो है वो जो कुछ एक दो वाकयात आते हैं हदीस में कि वो हमें रात के वक्त वो गश्त करते थे और जस्ट लाइक अ पुलिसमैन ठीक है ना, तो वो सारा काम जो है वो आई मीन रात के वक्त होता था उनका। रात के वक्त भी ये एक्टिविटीज़ वो परफॉर्म कर रहे होते थे, पूरे पूरी एक्टिव वो हो गए, ठीक है। और पुराने मजीद में भी हमें एक दो बार ये भी पढ़ने में मिलता है कि मोमिनों की एक सिफ्त ये भी बयान की है गालिबन सूरे मोमिनून में, अगर मैं गलत नहीं हूँ तो, कि ये जो है वो रात के औकात में जो है वो अल्लाह के हज़ूर जो है लंबे लंबे सजदे करते हैं, और सुबह जो है वो सहरी के टाइम जो है अल्लाह से मग़फ़िरत मांगते हैं, और इनकी पीठें जो हैं वो बिछौनों से अलग रहती हैं, ठीक है। तो कम सोना जो है इसका हमें थोड़ा सा क्लू कुरान से भी मिलता है, अनलाइक जो है वो अनलाइक साइंटिफिक जो रिसर्च। और एक काफ़ी बात ये भी है कि जो भी हम मसलन ये जितने भी आर्मी मैन हैं या मिलिट्री से रिलेटेड जितने भी लोग हैं, इनके बारे में तो यहाँ पे कम से कम पाकिस्तान में तो यही मशहूर है कि ये 2-3 घंटे ही जो है इनकी नींद होती है। तो ये चीज़ें देख के ना मुझे काफ़ी वो होता है कि यार अगर ये लोग इतना कम सो के भी इतना एक्टिव हैं, तो ये चीज़ जो सोशलाइजेशन प्रोसेस के थ्रू हमें ये शुरू से ये चीज़ हमें इंजेक्ट की गई है कि जी 8 घंटे की नींद लोगे तब भी आप एक्टिव रहोगे, इसमें कहीं ना कहीं फ्लॉ है। ठीक है,
बिल्कुल, absolutely. And the other thing we have to consider is that it's the quality of sleep. तो
जी जी हाँ जी ऐसे
quality of sleep is very very important. I'm very sure ये जो 5 घंटे जो सोते हैं ना, वो बड़े डीप स्लीप में सोते हैं, और REM उनकी अच्छी खासी होती है in that small period of sleep. And so they probably train. My guess is, I'm like, this is my hypothesis again. I'm just guessing, but because they, are telling their body to sleep only for that many hours. My guess is their brain is very very sleep efficient as well, in the sense वो उनको बहुत अच्छी और deep और high quality sleep
एडजस्ट कर लेता है,
adapt कर लेता है पक्का. I'm sure. I mean that's what happens. अगर आप देखें, I mean, the same thing. If we don't sleep one night, then we sleep the other night. We sleep much more deeper. So I think that kind of adaptation happens if you study these people, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. And again, if for me, again, when you compare with Islam, I mean, I was just, comparing, especially the light. I mean, subhanAllah, waking up at Fajr, going to the masajid. Yeah. You're outside in the, you're outside in that time, and coming back from Fajr Salah, when the sun is, just rising, आप सारी setting आप कर रहे हो for the ideal sleep cycle. You're just setting it perfectly right. And I did not mention about the evening light exposure. Again, there's the importance of exposure to the light in the evening also, which is the between Asr and Maghrib, when before sun setting light. And as I said, the brain and the body is getting signals about the external environment through the light. So the brain is knowing, and the morning wavelengths jo hai, they're different from the evening wavelengths. That's why if I give anyone a picture of a sunrise without even showing this, the sun is lower down, you can just see the picture and say it is morning, sunrise, or sunset without knowing the time, right? Without telling you that it's morning, because jo coloring hoti hai na, jo blue light ki zyada hoti hai, in the morning time, then the evening the reds and the is more. So there's difference in that, and the body is sensing that you're on earth, and this is the morning time, wake up for the same, and this is evening time, and it's time to sleep. And the evening ki light hai, when you go into evening outside again 5-10 minutes, that also keep you awake for the immediate evening. That means 8-9 baje tak, and then it will make you wake up early in the morning. So it's good practice to go out in the evening also for 5 to 10 minutes. So that will be my 2 big takeaways: is go outside in nature, in the bright of the light, to set your cycles right as Allah wants it to be. Yeah. So and in areas where like in UK or in Seattle, certain areas where it's raining all the year, where there's hardly much of light, they do suffer from depression. Sleep can be affected. You can buy with the high intensity lights, artificial lights. You can buy, LED lights, or even the camera ke flashlights. Those lights can be used to substitute for the sun's light. So that is something else. Which, yeah. Okay. Any other questions we have? Yeah. But yeah, subhanAllah. And who is amazed by this integration of the external and the internal physiology? Yeah. The circadian rhythm just mesmerized me. Subhanallah.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम रहमतुल्लाह।
Walaikum assalam.
जी, मेरा भी क्वेश्चन है एक कि मैं भी अक्सर जैसे ब्रदर ने बात की कि हम सुनते हैं डॉक्टर जाकिर नाइक का मैंने सुना था साहिल अदीम का कि वो कहते हैं इतना शॉर्ट पीरियड वो 3-4 घंटे सोते हैं, ठीक है? तो मुझे भी ये होता था। लेकिन ये है कि अभी जैसे सिस्टर सफिया ने भी बात की कि अगर ईटिंग लेस करेंगे तो उससे भी आपका जो है वो यू नीड लेस स्लीप कि क्या चीज़ें हैं जो हम करें तो हम थोड़ी-सी स्लीप में भी हम बेटर फ़ील कर सकते हैं। तो उसमें सबसे पहले यही है कि लेस स्लीप, लेस ईटिंग एंड दूसरा जो है वो अर्ली टाइमिंग्स पे स्लीप करना। कि जो अर्ली आवर्स जैसे हमारे नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने बताया कि इशा के बाद वो बात करने को पसंद नहीं करते थे। तो वो चीज़ अगर हम करते हैं और ईटिंग को हम अपने चेक करते हैं कि स्लीप के टाइम से पहले 2-3 घंटे पहले अगर हम स्टॉप करते हैं या ओवरऑल हम लेस खाते हैं तो उससे भी शायद हमारी जो है वो स्लीप थोड़े में ही हमें जो है एनर्जी मिल सकती है। और यही चीज़ होगी इसके पीछे मेरे ख़्याल में। अच्छा, क्वेश्चन एक मेरा ये भी था कि अगर हम अगर हम सन रूम में बैठते हैं तो क्या वो इफ़ेक्टिव है या हमें सन के बाहर ही जाके बैठना है? और एक और चीज़ जैसे मेरे कमरे में जो है वो एक क्लॉक है, नॉट वॉल क्लॉक बट ऐसे ही, लेकिन उसमें लाइट वाला है जो लाइट रात में जो है वो नज़र आता है। तो क्या ये भी आपकी स्लीप को, जैसे मैं उठती हूँ तो मुझे ज़रूर देखना होता है कि क्या टाइम हुआ है, तो क्या वो चीज़ भी हमें अवॉइड करनी चाहिए?
Yeah, if आपको अगर if it's causing you lack of sleep या आपको sleep के मसले हैं तो definitely if it is not affecting you at all, it would not make a difference. But अगर आपको sleep से issue हो रहे हैं, to fall back sleep and stuff like that, it's better to take off the light clock for sure. And for the first question, this so I mean ये साइंटिफिक डेटा के बेसिस पे ही मैंने कहा था ना कि गोइंग आउटसाइड इन टाइम. सो इन दोस स्टडीज दे हैव डन कि बाहर जाएं. अब दे आर सेइंग नॉट टू डू थ्रू द विंडोज और थ्रू द विंडशील्ड अनलेस वेदर खराब है एंड यू कांट go outside. And so be outside in that nature. So best is to, in sunroom is better to go out as much as it helps, but sunroom is it's better to go out in the bright. Yeah. क्योंकि अब विंडो स्क्रीन्स नहीं रहे बीच में. Subhanallah. And there's a lot of, the breeze touches the skin. There's so much, trust me, there's so much for us to be outside, very much, maybe with the bare foot as well, touching the earth, and subhanallah, getting all the senses activated. Yeah.
जैसे हम बच्चों को देखते हैं ना कि वो देर तक जागते हैं, ठीक है? फिर वो बाद में देर से सोते हैं तो फिर वो पूरा दिन भी अगर सोएं तो उनकी नींद पूरी नहीं होती है। तो ये चीज़ वाक़ई है कि अगर हम अर्ली टाइमिंग्स पे सोते हैं तो थोड़ी-सी नींद में भी हमारी वो पूरी हो जाती है नींद शायद, राइट?
And the routine, sleep routine is very, very important. रूटीन का भी बड़ा इस्लाम में भी है ना, रूटीन का हर चीज टाइम पे, रूटीन का भी हमें बहुत ख्याल रखना है, which is very huge. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Right. Any other questions? Yeah. So takeaway is, go in the nature in the morning and in the evening, 10 minutes. and see how it makes you feel. Inshallah, be better.
अच्छा सिस्टर फरहाना
जी
इस पे कुछ बताएंगे कि किस तरह आपका कंट्रोल हो सकता है। मैंने नोटिस किया कुछ लोगों को बहुत कंट्रोल होता है उनकी स्लीप पे, जब वो सोना चाहते हैं मजे से सो जाते हैं, उठना होता है बीच में तहज्जुद के लिए उठते हैं, फिर सो जाते हैं, फिर मॉर्निंग में बच्चों को स्कूल भेजना होता है, अर्ली उठना है। तो ये कंट्रोल कैसे मतलब आप कहेंगे कि गुड रूटीन अगर हो या कोई ऐसी चीज है जो हमें हेल्प कर सकती है अपनी नींद को मतलब अपने कंट्रोल में रखने के लिए?
कंट्रोल आई थिंक हाँ दे एबल टू स्लीप ऑफ उनको ना नींद जल्दी आ जाती है, दे कैन फॉल asleep वेरी इजीली, तो इसलिए वो कंट्रोल कर पाते हैं.
And they can wake up easily too,
हाँ,
and
हाँ,
they have really like restful sleep. They
yeah,
don't, they're not like I'm talking about my son. He sleeps really like peacefully, sleep easily. I don't have to okay, or not even wait. Is his bedtime? Okay, good night, and there you go, he's snoring and then wake up easily. So that's the thing. I like maybe age
yes,
factor or something. Yeah.
Age, very much age is a factor. Young kids are able to do that. They fall asleep, go into the deep sleep and the restful sleep very, very easily. And so वो लोग refresh भी होते हैं जब उठते हैं. As we age, we are more light phase में होते हैं. So it becomes a little tricky. Yeah. And so so if you're not feeling sleepy, then it is recommended कि आप bed पे मत जाएं. Do something else until you really feel sleepy. And I think this is the technique which is used by all the people who use only 4 or 5 hours. Most of us, we will okay, even if we're not sleeping, let's go and lie down on the bed. It's time to and bus we have been on the bed and 1-2 घंटे बस उसी में thinking of something is passing rather than sleeping. It's recommended not to get up and do something else. When you really sleep अच्छी आती है deep, that's when you go and sleep. So then you will get आपको efficiency वो जो time सो रहे वो अच्छी very high quality sleep हो जाएगी. So don't go to bed thinking of something and just keep lying thinking there on bed. उसके बाद में कुछ कर ले, किताब पढ़ ले या whatever, get up and not on the bed. Yeah, alhamdulillah.
सर्वे का maybe जो लोगों का अभी नजर नहीं गई चैट पे, मैम ने सर्वे फॉर्म जो है उसका लिंक शेयर कर दिया, प्लीज उसको फिल कर दें जल्दी से, और अगर कोई क्वेश्चन है तो वो पूछ लें ताकि फिर हम इसको रैप अप करें इंशाल्लाह.
I think, Sister Farhana, when I having worked in Pakistan quite some years, I find people have a very bad habit of staying awake most of the night, right? And then they say, "Abhi neend nahi aa rahi." बच्चों के साथ भी ये कर रहे थे before sending to school. Let them stay up quite late. So ये चीज़ जो है ना कि जब नींद आएगी तब सो, it's I think it needs a little bit of rule on it.
It is, I mean, when you this is for people who have difficulty in falling asleep, but they have to go and sleep on the particular time, and wake up on a constant time. 6 baje utna hai, irrespective. They cannot. It's not like you sleep all the you not mess up with sleep cycle. So this technique is used for people who have trouble falling asleep, but when you tell this technique, you go to bed when it's highly sleep, but then you wake up at that 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, jo bhi time aap decide, you have to wake up then.
Right.
And you have to be functioning the entire day and then come back again. So that will set it. 1-2 हफ्ते में वो set हो जाता है फिर आपको. Yeah. Unlike our place where we say, whenever we sleep late and then we wake up late. No. That's not. It doesn't overspill in the morning though. When they do the technique. Yeah.
Right, okay.
It takes a week or 2 to set the cycle. If anyone, किसी की भी रात में सोने की, I mean late सोने की आदत है, morning में sleep करने की आदत है, just takes a week or so to get just half an hour से change कर दें वो time, and they can set their cycle as to what they want it to be in the morning, waking up for Fajr and stuff, or the Tahajjud, what time they decide. Yeah.
And you recommend these short naps. I mean, that's also been talked a lot about, that get into the habits of a short nap, even if 10 minutes. How does that?
Yeah, afternoon naps are, good, but not more than 90 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
If you sleep more than 90 minutes in the afternoon, then आपको फिर वो, your need for sleep in the night is going to get delayed and then you won't sleep. So it has to be less than 90 for sure, but lesser is half an hour is kind of, ideal thing. And even doing just relax, even if you're not sleeping, just doing even the relaxation techniques at that time, afternoon is very recommended. Yeah. So the Kailula is very, very, very beneficial. And
Right.
of course, Prophet ﷺ did it, so it has to be.
So we talk about vitamin D and sunlight. I understand from what you said that it was more about getting the body aware of it's time to wake up, right? So you're telling us that we need to be in the sunshine for this 10 minutes or whatever, if it's a good sunny day. But does that cover the vitamin D side as well, or does that need more? And does it matter in vitamin D how much we are covered?
Yeah, vitamin D is produced from the skin, the sun rays falling on the skin. So definitely it is not through the the eyes. So exposure is important. So your more the skin exposed, hands, legs, the better. The timing wise, I do not know how many minutes is enough for how much surface skin area. I don't have that data. I'll have to look that up.
Right.
Yeah. But you need skin exposure chahiye.
Okay. Very interesting. I think about the UK hours. The daylight is so much at this time. Maghrib, kind of so late, and then in the winter time it gets so short. That one has to really adjust this thing of how one brings about that sleep cycle correctly. As you said, darken the room and do things like that.
Yeah. I wonder how people in the North Pole and those areas,
Yeah.
how they take care of their.
Getting a couple of hours of sunlight,
Yeah.
Mm.
Subhanallah. Yeah, but I think more we integrate with nature, I think the more for us is at least where we have enough at least 4 hours or nighttime, we can just integrate with our environment around us, and then we should be good. Yeah. The morning time, the evening time, asar time. Both the times we got to spend 5-10 minutes outside.
Yeah. I mean, we see that there's an afternoon nap kind of thing is quite accepted in our culture, in Saudi, and or I don't know whether that's just because of the weather. It's not so much over here in Europe. Maybe in Spain it's also quite acceptable. I don't know. But in UK it's not. I don't know how it is in America. Is people taking naps? You're just working through that day till you get home.
Yeah, the office, I mean, they don't make any any provision for taking afternoon naps.
Yeah. And I would request again people to please give the survey. We have 2 surveys. We want to decide what topic to have next. And, you're filling in the survey, giving us ideas. It helps us plan. So please, please do fill in the survey forms. I'll put the link also on the group. So if you've missed it, so please do it then.
So Sister Safia, put in the chat that 15 to 30 minutes in the sun is equal to 10,000 international units. So which is good actually. So 15 to 30 minutes in the sun and more, okay.
That's with how much covering? Is that like
hands and legs go to face, hand, legs, so we have to expose, I guess. Yeah. The younger the skin, less exposure will be enough, but as we get older, absorption reduces to the skin, so we need to stay longer in the sun. So as we age, a little bit longer, and heart, where if only our homes had open areas in the middle, like the angan, So again, the house architecture also the modern architecture is not very, it's not incorporating the environment as much as I would say, especially for the women folk. There's also room for some changes in the architecture as well, where there's more light and open areas and stuff.
Yeah, it's not quite conducive to that kind of getting out and getting some sunshine.
Yeah. Especially for women, otherwise in the olden days they used to have the angan, right? The area and this courtyard. And those, simple ways to get enough sunlight and for
Yeah, in the villages it was quite common to have the center of it all open with the animals and everything. So you had to walk across anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Okay. So if there aren't any questions, we can wind up.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a Taqwa group meeting on Wednesday. Yeah.
Yes.
Inshallah, that group will get together. And then we have on Sunday, we got Brother Gas talking to us. Yes. And that's the session plan for the coming Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Okay. So أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر جزاك الله خيرا السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.